intuitively, it sounds like it'd be better to have them just rotate, just come and change cars. But it costs me roughly $25,000, and I'm kind of rounding that off, for a car. And those cars last, especially if we assign them to an individual, they're going to last at least 5 years. So my cost is about $5,000 a year for the capital for that vehicle. Now, what if I don't assign it to an individual? Well, now I have some real big expenses that I have to pay. Every single day I've got to pay a deputy probably about a half hour on each end of his shift to take all the stuff out of his car and put it back in when he starts. And if any of you have ridden with a deputy, you know how much equipment that they have. It is a tremendous amount. So the time, and my expense, about 87% of my budget is salary dollars. We don't have a whole lot of expense money. Most of it goes into our people costs because we're a people business, we're a service business. So if you multiply every deputy on the road and take them an hour out off the road every day, that gets more than $5,000 a year. There's some other expenses. We'd have to go to the county commission and say triple the size of our parking lot. And that would probably be hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe millions of dollars, because now instead of one vehicle when they come in, right now they don't even have to come to the office. They can theoretically go to work from home, and a lot of them do. They also answer calls on the way to work. If something's happening, they have to have their radio on their way to work. If something's happening, they go straight to the call. Backing up another deputy or an in-progress call, they'll go straight to that. So I get some work out of them. I get some deterrence every day. Every day that they drive to and from work, I get some deterrence out there on the road. And if they see or hear something, I get work out of them. So that's another benefit. But the parking lot, think about it. If you have to switch vehicles, I have to have a vehicle for or a parking space for the patrol car, and then I have to have 2 parking spaces for their personal cars. The guy coming on and the guy leaving both have to have their personal cars there. So now you have to have a huge parking lot, very expensive to maintain. And again, I think the salary dollars alone pay for it, but the parking lot. Also, how many of you have a deputy that live in your neighborhood? Okay, a few of you. Most people would say they like having that car out in front of the house. So that's, again, a cost that's hard to quantify, but most people, there's a deterrence there. And even a more important thing, if another sheriff, if we have a major problem or another sheriff calls me for help, we're going to drop everything and we're going to run to that sheriff to give him help because they'll do the same for us. If I don't have, right now I can call all my deputies and say, be ready in an hour to go, and tell them to go, and they're going to go. There's going to be enough cars, all of them are fully equipped, they're ready to hit the street at a moment's notice. So those are some of the reasons, but the salary dollars are the big ones. And I've got, if you ever, there's Manatee County did a very, very good study, and it's very thorough for those of you who are really numbers people. Give my office a call, and I'll give you the link, or I'll print a copy of it, but it goes through all the things. There's some other intangible costs. There's a lot fewer accidents when they're assigned a car, because it's like a rental car. If you don't own a car, do you take care of a rental car as well as you do your own? Well, when they're assigned, they last a lot longer. We get at least 130,000 miles out of them, and they're under some pretty rough conditions. If they were rotated, we'd be replacing them a lot more frequently. So hopefully that answered some of your questions. But if anybody wants to talk about it more afterwards, I'll be happy to talk more, but I don't want to take up everybody's time. I see somebody nodding, but you can tell I've been asked that before, so I'm prepared for that. Any other questions? I saw a couple other hands, I think. Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
Your volunteer department, it sounds pretty impressive. How does that compare with other sheriff offices that
A lot of sheriff's offices have similar programs. It's very successful. We boosted it a little bit here, what we call our public service aid program. Both counties to our north and the one to our north and south both have that program. But if you're interested, we're always recruiting. If you have a little bit of time, come on board, and we'd love to have you.
Excuse me.
I'm waiting.
Okay.
Okay. If we could, the questions we'd like